The People's Militia of the Donetsk People's Republic (DPR) says that the Russian Buk-M3 has emerged as a potent defense against the US-supplied HIMARS deployed in the region. Izvestia recently interviewed the Donetsk People's Militia participants, who carried out strikes against enemy positions and equipment. These strikes include the destruction of American M142 HIMARS multiple launch rocket systems (MLRS), which are in use by the Ukrainian armed forces. An operator of the Buk-M3 anti-aircraft missile system, who goes by the call sign Tolian, told the Russian newspaper that one calculation could maintain sight of up to 12 different targets simultaneously at any given time. The launch of one Buk-M3 missile can take out one HIMARS installation. The Buk-M3 air defense system can hit targets at an altitude of 10 kilometers and a distance of 40. Regularly shoot down HIMARS. The crews of the Anti-Aircraft Missile Brigade, armed with the latest Buk-M3 systems, regularly shoot down shells from the HIMARS multiple launch rocket system. During combat duty, the air defense crews detect, escort, and destroy various aircraft around the clock, providing reliable air cover for the positions of the armed forces of the Russian Federation, as well as the most important administrative and industrial facilities, the Russian Ministry of Defense, on September 28. The ministry also released footage of the combat work of the Buk-M3 crews of the air defense units of the Central Military District in the Special Operations Zone. The air defense system is equipped with improved electronics and new anti-aircraft missiles, the number of which has increased to 6. During work, it is necessary constant attention, in no case to relax, to watch the indicators, and then everything will be successful. It all depends on the target's movement parameter and on where the target is. The complex itself sees far enough, and if the target is in the zone, then it is literally to escort, report, identify, and launch. About 2 or 3 seconds the missile left, said the battery commander with the call sign Broad Yaga in the video released. How did Buk-M3 begin countering HIMARS? In the Donbass theater of operations, the integration of airborne optical and electronic surveillance conducted by the Russian aerospace forces, as well as multi-purpose attack platforms undertaken by both the aerospace forces and the land forces, into a single information field has proven to be fruitful. Integration of network-centric connection between ground and air tactical reconnaissance systems, as well as the broadest range of high-precision strike weapons, has been a primary emphasis of the command of the Russian aerospace forces and the Russian rocket forces and artillery. Also, the skills necessary to defeat the high-precision guided missiles fired by the M31-1G MLRS system, which is employed by the HIMARS, Mars-II, and M270B MLRS systems, were documented by the soldiers of the air defense forces of the Russian ground forces. The birth of HIMARS killer. Igor Konashenkov, the official representative of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation, made a statement about the interception of his shells by Russian air defense systems in early July. On July 25th, the type of anti-aircraft missile was also made public, confirming that it possesses the greatest potential in the fight against M3101 shells. The Buk-M3 proved to be a promising military anti-aircraft missile system. The Russians began inducting Buk-M3 in 2016 when the first batteries reached the air defense combat units. During a massive missile and artillery strike by HIMARS systems, during their initial deployment on the Russian rear logistics hubs in the South Ukrainian theater of operations, the combat crew of one of the frontline Buk-M3 air defense systems of the Russian military air defense became acquainted with the capability of countering small-sized rockets M3101. The difficulty of intercepting these missiles is due to their limited effective reflective surface and rapid cruising speed, which limit the interception range and altitude to 22 kilometers and 10 seconds, respectively. Starting with the known parameters of the radars and features of the anti-aircraft missile guidance system of this air defense system, performance and electrodynamic characteristics of the M31-1G MLRS guided missiles to be intercepted, the Russians analyzing the capabilities of the Buk-M3 in countering the M3101 projectiles. The Buk-M3 was not limited by the M3101 missile's extremely low EPR. The 227mm guided projectiles of the HIMARS system have an extremely small effective reflective surface, approximately 0.050.07 square meters. and comparable to the EPR of the 220mm RS-9 Planck Mass 27F of the Uragan systems, which reduces the detection range of the 9S-36M radars of the Buk-M3 self-propelled firing systems from the standard 130 to 35 kilometers. After detecting shells at a range of 30 kilometers, the computer facilities of the Battle Control Center of the Buk-M3 complexes require an additional 12 seconds to precisely trace the courses of attacking objects and designate additional targets for 9 Planck Mass 317Ma anti-aircraft missiles. During this time, missiles traveling at 750 meters per second cover an additional 9 kilometers in the direction of the target, reducing the range to around 21 kilometers. At this moment, anti-aircraft missiles are launched, which shoot down attacking HIMARS rounds at a distance of 13 to 15 Kelvin from the Buk-M3 anti-aircraft missile batteries. This is achieved by equipping 9 Planck Mass 317Ma anti-aircraft missiles with active radar homing heads in the Slanins family and having a 6-channel target designation radar on each of the 6 battery firing systems. In comparison, 1S-302PM Division can simultaneously intercept no more than 6 enemy targets, which is due to the presence of only 1/3 target illumination radar and the semi-active guidance of 48 Newton 6E2 anti-aircraft missiles, which requires continuous illumination of the intercepted object until the radar fuse is activated. Consequently, only Buk-M3 complexes are capable of simultaneously intercepting 28 incoming rockets during a massed classic attack by Ukrainian armed forces equipped with 2 HIMARS